Okay, so I need to tell you something that might actually change what you put in your grocery cart this week. Scientists just updated the rankings for the best foods for weight loss in 2026, and some of what's on this list is going to surprise you. Because, spoiler alert, it's not diet food. It's not low-fat this or calorie-free that, and it's definitely not whatever the latest detox tea influencers are selling. It's actual food, real food, food your grandmother would recognize. And the science behind why these specific foods work for weight loss is genuinely fascinating. So let's get into it. First, let me explain what makes a food actually good for weight loss, because most people think it's just about calories. Eat less, move more, done. And yes, calories matter. You cannot outrun physics. But the type of food you eat determines how hungry you are, how much you eat without realizing it, how your hormones respond, and how well your gut bacteria support fat loss. So these aren't just low-calorie foods. These are foods that work with your biology to make eating less feel almost effortless. Let's go through them. Number 1, eggs. Wait, didn't we just do a whole video about eggs? Yes, and here they are again, because they are genuinely one of the best weight loss foods on the planet. A study following 50 people found that eating eggs for breakfast instead of cereal and juice increased feelings of fullness for the next 4 hours. 4 hours. From one meal. Why? Because eggs combine complete protein with healthy fat. Both of these slow digestion and trigger fullness hormones in a way that pure carbohydrate breakfasts simply don't. 1 egg, 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, only about 70 calories, and you'll be full until lunch without even thinking about snacking. Compare that to a bowl of cereal. Same or more calories, almost no protein or fat. Your blood sugar spikes and crashes within 90 minutes, and suddenly you're hunting through the office snack drawer before 10 a.m. 2 eggs at breakfast versus a bowl of cereal. Same calorie range. Completely different hunger response for the next 4 hours. Eggs win every time. Number 2, lentils and legumes. I know, not exciting, but hear me out because the research on legumes for weight loss is genuinely impressive. 1 cup of cooked lentils has 18 grams of protein, 16 grams of fiber, and about 230 calories. That combination of protein and fiber is basically the gold standard for keeping you full. Fiber slows digestion. Protein reduces the hunger hormone ghrelin. Together they create a satiety that lasts hours. A 2022 study of 260 men and 200 women with type 2 diabetes found that following a high-fiber diet, including legumes, supported significantly decreased body fat over time. And here's the thing about lentils and beans that most people don't appreciate. They're incredibly calorie-dense in terms of nutrition, but relatively low-calorie in terms of volume. You get a huge bowl of food for a modest number of calories, and you feel absolutely stuffed because of all that fiber. This is called volumetrics. Eating more food by volume but fewer calories overall. And legumes are one of the best volumetric foods on earth. Black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, all of them. Seriously underrated for weight loss. Number 3, wild blueberries. A sweeping scientific review published in January 2026 highlighted wild blueberries as a standout food for cardiometabolic health. The strongest evidence showed improvements in blood vessel function and encouraging signs for metabolic health. But here's why blueberries specifically make the weight loss list. They are loaded with fiber and water. 1 cup of blueberries is only about 85 calories. But that cup contains 3.6 grams of fiber, significant water content, and a massive hit of antioxidants called anthocyanins. Those anthocyanins do something interesting for weight loss. They've been shown in some studies to influence fat cell development and reduce the formation of new fat cells. They also reduce inflammation, which is closely linked to insulin resistance and difficulty losing weight. And because blueberries are high in water and fiber, they fill you up fast for very few calories. A cup of blueberries takes longer to eat and is far more satisfying than the equivalent calories in a cookie or a handful of chips. Add them to your oats. Add them to Greek yogurt. Eat them as a snack. They're one of the few truly guilt-free sweet foods that actually supports your weight loss goals. Number 4, salmon and fatty fish. A 2023 study published in Frontiers in Physiology found that including 1 to 2 servings of fatty fish per week may significantly lower the 10-year risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. But beyond heart health, fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, and herring are extraordinary for weight loss. First, they are extremely high in protein. A 3-ounce serving of salmon provides about 22 grams of protein. That protein keeps you full, preserves muscle mass during weight loss, and requires more energy to digest than carbs or fat. Second, the omega-3 fatty acids in fatty fish have been shown to reduce inflammation and may improve the body's ability to use insulin effectively. And when your insulin sensitivity is better, your body stores less fat and burns more. Salmon also has virtually no refined carbohydrates, no hidden sugars, and very low saturated fat compared to most other protein sources. It's a genuinely clean protein that works beautifully for weight loss. Number 5, leafy greens. Kale, spinach, arugula, collard greens, Swiss chard. These are the closest thing to magic food for weight loss, and I'm not exaggerating. Why? Because they are almost calorie-free but extremely filling by volume. 1 cup of raw spinach is 7 calories. 7. And it contains fiber, water, iron, magnesium, folate, vitamin K, and something called thylakoids, which have been specifically linked to increased feelings of fullness. You can eat a massive bowl of leafy greens and barely make a dent in your daily calorie budget. But your stomach will be genuinely full. Your hunger hormones will calm down, and your body will have received a flood of vitamins and minerals it needs to function properly. This is the volumetrics principle again. More food, fewer calories, better nutrition. A salad as a starter before your main meal has been shown in multiple studies to reduce total calorie intake at that meal. Not because you're being disciplined, because the fiber and volume from the greens physically takes up space and sends fullness signals before you get to the higher calorie main course. Number 6, Greek yogurt. Not flavored yogurt loaded with sugar. Plain Greek yogurt. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt contains about 17 to 20 grams of protein, some healthy fat, probiotics for gut health, and only about 130 to 150 calories. The gut health angle here matters more than most people realize for weight loss. Research is increasingly showing that people with diverse, healthy gut microbiomes have an easier time losing and maintaining weight. The probiotics in Greek yogurt directly support that microbiome diversity. The protein also makes it incredibly satiating for its calorie count. And because it's thick and creamy, it satisfies cravings for rich, indulgent foods in a way that a piece of plain fruit doesn't. Add blueberries and a tablespoon of flax seeds, and you've got a breakfast that combines protein, fiber, probiotics, antioxidants, and omega-3s, all in one bowl, for under 300 calories. Number 7, sweet potatoes. This one surprises people because potatoes have a reputation as a fattening food. But sweet potatoes are genuinely different from white potatoes and a standout for weight loss. A medium sweet potato has about 103 calories, 4 grams of fiber, significant vitamin A and C content, and a moderate glycemic response that, when combined with protein and fat, creates a very stable blood sugar curve. Sweet potatoes are also one of the most filling foods per calorie measured by what's called the satiety index. In research measuring how full different foods make people feel, potatoes rank extraordinarily high. Sweet potatoes even more so when eaten with skin. They're also high in water content, which adds to that volume and fullness without adding calories. 1 medium roasted sweet potato with some grilled chicken and a side salad is a genuinely satisfying, nutritionally complete meal under 400 calories. Number 8, avocado. Yes, avocados are high in calories for a fruit. Half an avocado has about 120 calories and 10 grams of fat. But here's why they're on this list. The fat in avocados is monounsaturated fat, primarily oleic acid, the same heart-healthy fat found in olive oil. This fat is associated with reduced inflammation and improved insulin sensitivity. And the combination of fat and fiber in avocados, about 5 grams of fiber per half, creates one of the most satisfying foods for its calorie count. Multiple studies have found that people who add avocado to their meals eat fewer total calories throughout the day because the fat and fiber combination suppresses appetite so effectively. One study found that eating half an avocado at lunch reduced the desire to eat more food by 40% over the following 5 hours compared to a lunch without avocado. 40% from half an avocado. That appetite suppression effect over 5 hours is worth far more than the 120 calories the avocado adds to your meal. Number 9. Broccoli and cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. These are low-calorie, high-fiber, and surprisingly high in protein for vegetables. 1 cup of broccoli has about 3 grams of protein and only 35 calories, and that cup is a lot of food by volume. Cruciferous vegetables also contain compounds that support liver function, and your liver is central to fat metabolism. When your liver is working well, fat burning is more efficient. They also provide glucosinolates, compounds that have anti-inflammatory effects and may support hormonal balance. Since hormonal imbalance, especially cortisol and insulin, is a major driver of stubborn weight gain, eating foods that support hormonal balance indirectly supports weight loss. Number 10. Chia seeds and flax seeds. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds has 5 grams of fiber and 2 grams of protein, and when chia seeds hit liquid, they expand dramatically and form a gel. That physical expansion in your stomach creates a very strong fullness signal for almost 0 calories. 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds adds 2 grams of fiber and significant omega-3 fatty acids. Sprinkle them on your yogurt, oats, or salad, and you've added a weight loss booster that takes about 2 seconds. Here's the simple pattern you've probably noticed across every single food on this list. High protein, high fiber, high water content, minimal refined carbohydrates, minimal ultra-processing. That's it. That's the formula. These foods keep you full longer. They stabilize your blood sugar. They support your gut microbiome. They reduce inflammation. They make eating less feel natural instead of miserable. And not one of them comes in a specially labeled diet package. Not one of them requires a program or a subscription or a shake replacement. They're just real food. The best diet for weight loss in 2026, according to the science, is still the Mediterranean diet for long-term sustainability. And every single food on this list fits comfortably within that pattern. Eggs, lentils, wild blueberries, salmon, leafy greens, Greek yogurt, sweet potatoes, avocado, broccoli, chia, and flax seeds. Build your meals around these foods. Add quality complex carbs. Keep the ultra-processed stuff to a minimum. You'll lose weight, not because you're suffering through a diet, but because you're eating food your body was designed to thrive on. If this gave you a clearer picture of what should actually be in your grocery cart, subscribe. I cover nutrition science every week and break it down into something that actually works in real life. Drop a comment. Which of these foods are already in your regular rotation? And which ones surprised you? See you in the next one.